Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tim Dillon Show. Two very special guests. We've been trying to get them for 6 years. And I emailed I would text your producer once every couple of weeks for the last several years. And we've done it. We've got it done.
But Tim, you're so fantastic and busy.
This gentleman is out. Me and you could have done 90 hours of broadcasting. Sure. We could have started a podcast in the time.
You should.
Yeah, we should. We could have. And you're back now from the tour?
I'm back from the tour, yeah. I'm very excited to do this. You know, it was never, there are people that you go like, I'm just busy. And,
right.
And that's your way of being like, I don't like you.
Right.
But for you, for you, it was real, where I really was gone. And
of course. And I saw it.
Yeah.
It was,
but
occasionally somebody will ask me to do something.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, I'm like, dude, I'm not in New York. And then I'll look at my Instagram story. There's a photo of me holding a bagel on 59th Street. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very I'm a bad liar.
We're all the same with that shit, though. Everybody wants to, there's the things you want to do because you like the person or you guys click or you're a fan of, which we're all that with you. Like, we're huge fans of you. And it's always been fun to watch your crazy rise in all this shit. But it is like an art form to be of how to get out of things in this world, in the comedy podcast world. You're always like, no, the thing is, dude, I'm having ankle surgery.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
Yeah.
You're like, I thought you broke your. I'm like, no, I did, but I found out my ankle's weak too. So I
use my mother a lot because she's in a mental institution.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So I just go, what's great is I go, my mother's not doing well. Now, here's the thing. My mother's never been doing well.
Yeah.
It's been 30 years of my mother not doing well.
Yeah.
I don't even know what my mother doing well would look like. You know what I mean? Like, what would that even be?
Yeah.
She's a morbidly obese schizophrenic. So if my mother walked to the door of her room and opened it herself, it's a win. Yeah. So what's great about that is I just go, my mother's not doing well.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just take some time with her.
Yeah.
I'm just going to take
And everybody
some
has
time.
to go like, I get it.
And you love spending time with her.
I love it. I do it 4 times a year.
Yeah.
And no, I do it as much as I can, but you know what it is? She forgets when I'm there a lot. So I go, is this a real? They've just given her a phone. Like, she got whatever the version of the new Obama phone is, but it's a phone they're giving to lunatics, and she can't turn it on and can't use it. But it's one of those state programs. Like, remember when they gave Obama phones out? They're like, the problem with all these people is that they can't communicate.
Yeah.
But if they had the tools to communicate, they'd build a network of people, and they I don't know, marshal their resources together.
Of other schizophrenics.
Is it like a jitterbug? Is it like huge numbers?
It's a phone.
It's just fucking.
She'll never
answer.
my aunt texted me her number. I'll call her now. There's no way she answers.
Let's call her.
There's no way she answers because my aunt texts me, goes, your mother has a phone and doesn't know how to use it. So I just ignore these texts. I just go, she goes, your mom has a phone. She doesn't know how to use it. We're going to have to teach her. I'm like, well, I'm not doing that. She's 70. If she can't use a phone, let's write it off.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's no way.
Please answer.
What's her name?
Patricia.
You don't have it saved?
I don't have it saved. She's going to lose it. She's going to lose it. There's no way she has this in a month. She's going to say that one of the black orderlies stole it because she's racist.
Yeah.
She's a racist person.
Yeah. My mom was so racist when she died.
Yes.
My mother was schizophrenic too. That's what Tim and I have in common. And when I went to clean out her apartment, because she was a shut-in for 8 years, I met the security guard that would look in on her from time to time.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I'm Christina. I know we've never met because I've never fucking visited my mother.
Right.
And I go, I'm Edith's daughter. And she goes, oh, yeah, Edith, I remember her. She goes,
Is this an African American?
She goes, yeah. And she goes, she was okay to me. She never called me the N-word.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And I was like, that implies that she's been calling
other people.
Yeah.
Other people.
Wow, man.
Yeah, but not her.
Not her. So that was a win.
big win.
Yeah, I don't think my mother's using the N-word, but she will.
Not yet. She'll get there.
She'll get there, but I will sit down with her and she'll be like, she'll go, there are too many Muslims in the country. And I'm like, is that your biggest problem? You've been immobile for 20 years pretty much, and you're in this room and all you can do is watch television and scream. And
Muslims are here.
Muslims are bothering you? But that's the way I get out of things. And my mother did tell me when I was little, she goes, just tell people I'm dead. She said that to me once. She goes, if you need to get out of something, just tell somebody. That was one of the nicest things she's ever done.
That is a very nice thing. It's
awesome.
It's one of the, I mean, everybody who has kids ends up knowing this, that it is the great, like, cancel clause.
Yeah.
It's like when someone's like, hey, do you want to? You're like, dude, I got kids.
Right.
And then other parents know it. They're like, yeah, but they respect it. Other parents are like,
it's code.
Oh, yeah, it's code.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to do this. And you're like, I don't.
Of course.
I have kids. So.
Most comedians don't have that. Like, not like a lot of comedians have that. But a lot of us, unfortunately, are single. There are some of us that go, "Hey, I'm a pedophile.
Yeah.
I can't do it." There are some people that can, they can kind of say that. Yeah. I can't really. I can't make it Saturday. Now, do you guys ever get in? Do your kids have friends whose parents are cool?
Yeah,
Rarely.
No, there's the ones where you're like, here's the thing. Our bar, if anything, is so high for what it's like to hang out with someone.
That's true.
Like none of the kids' parents are at the level of, like, I'm saying, of fun and entertaining as like the most fun thing about being a comedian really is hanging out with other comedians.
100%.
Right? It's the best. Like having dinner. The hangs in the parking lot after the sets, you're like, I could do this forever. You do that night after night after night after night, and then you can hang out with like some kids' parents. You're like, I want to fucking die. So your bar for that, you're like, if this person is marginally cool and fun, it's entertaining enough.
Like the worst is children's parties. Actually, when I have to usher my kids to like a Chuck E. Cheese, and then you have to make chit chat, which is a southern fucking pastime is chit chat, small talk, which I can't do. I want to put a gun in my mouth.
Right.
Talking about the weather, or what are you going to do this summer? Oh, Jesus Christ.
I
like to
how's
get
comedy.
Right.
And like,
that's the worst.
Good. And they're like,
and
they just kind of smile and look at you, and they're like, you got any new stuff? And you're like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. What is this about?
Yeah.
You got any new stuff?
Yeah.
No. Do you think you'll ever have children?
I don't know. I'm deeply selfish.
Yeah.
This is a problem, I think, when you have children.
Yes. Yes.
If I had kids, I'd want to spend a lot of time with them like Bert. You know what I mean? Like, I'd want to give them the attention and... No, I don't know. Like, if I found a special guy who wanted to raise kids, I think it's great because comedy, is great. Success is good. Money's good. All those things are good. But having a family and like, bringing up one or two children to be kind of alt-right sympathizing, reactionary podcast psychopaths. Like, really, I'd raise some of the worst people that have ever existed. Like, really bad, really bad, inconsiderate people, because I'd have money, so they'd have money. But they'd also be, like, I think, very bad people, which excites me a little bit.
It's very fun.
It feels like it would be really fun.
I feel like, you're so aware.
Yeah.
And that's, like, it's keeping you from doing it now, but I think we all know that it's in the cards. This is going to happen.
I think so. When you're in your 50s and you're like a low T gay. Because right now you're at your peak. You've got to get out there and fuck, and you've got to go.
And you can't be tied down by like having to like worry about like a child dying.
Oh no, not
when you
now.
can do other things.
Yeah. Don't do that. Don't do it right now.
I wouldn't do it now. But then later on, it's a good idea to like, you have a child.
Yeah.
And my godson is Chinese, which I love. I love because it's something different.
Yeah.
And Asians are so
they're so cute.
They're not only are cute, they are very competent. They're intelligent, smart.
Do you think that's just innate, or is it the
It's innate. He's very cold. He doesn't attach to his mother or father. They've commented on this at the school. He doesn't care when he's dropped off. He won't even give them a look because they are the master race. They really fucking are.
They
really are. And
they so are. Asian kids are so much better than our kids.
No, he does his own thing. He doesn't care.
We even had in my school, very small school.
Yeah.
There was a couple one of the Asian kids.
They just dominate.
Not just had the 4.2 GPA and was a classical trained pianist, but she also was dominant, I think, on the swim team. And you're like, this is all facets.
Wow.
This is across the board high performance.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
I want my kid to be a trans athlete.
Yeah.
Like I
That's
want, you know what I mean?
so
Like
cool,
I want, if I had a kid, I'd want them to be embroiled in a massive controversy. Like something about because otherwise why even have, like Leah Thomas's parents are probably really proud. Be like, that's my son daughter, fucking everyone up in there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'd want my daughter, son daughter, to be kind of one of those people who's like breaking boundaries. Yeah. I love, by the way, I don't agree with Leah Thomas taking all these girls' titles, but there is something funny about seeing these exasperated female swimmers who are like at the end of their rope and they're like, I was in the locker room and she had her cock out and no one prepared me for it. And it's like, that seems kind of unfair, but it's also very funny. It's very funny.
It's also funny when they're like, you were the number 1 or 2 ranked swimmer, and then a person came in and blew your records away. You're like, oh, I'll never catch this. Never. Like, it's so far and away. Her records, she was like 700th.
Yes.
As a man, which is like an incredible swimmer for sure.
Right.
But switched over, transitioned, and made world records.
I was on a swim team for many years. My mother was a swim coach.
Really?
Yes, and I was a lifeguard. It's hard to believe now because I've left that path.
Yeah.
But I was a swimmer. I'm still a very good swimmer. And I was on a swim team, and it makes you gay because yes, well,
you blame swimming?
Well, because you're just in a room with cocks.
Yeah. How lovely,
the whole time. So my parents.
It's the first time I really took in cocks.
Oh yeah,
was
is
on
that
the swim
right?
team. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I saw this guy William who had a fully adult penis.
Wow.
At the time I didn't, and he was the same age, and I was like, "This is I'm fucked." This guy. And
I hadn't seen. I was on the swim team. I was like 8 or 9, and you see pubes.
Yes,
right? I hadn't seen pubes
on an 8 or 9-year-old.
No, because there's other older kids.
Oh, now you're making sense.
What the fuck is this?
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So swimming in general is a very weird,
crazy,
gay sport. And
shaving your body, speedos.
I like that it's become the battleground because no one cares about it either.
No
one cares about swimming and at all. Swimmers they're ripped, they have great bodies, but no one really cares. Occasionally, in the Olympics, you go, "Oh, that's nice," but I like that it's become this. No one cares, right? It's not the thing anyone cares about.
No one gives a shit.
But what's great is it's this cultural battleground where people are screaming, and these people we've never heard from before and never will again.
Sure.
Are coming out and going, I'm a female swimmer and I deserve respect. Outside of this, people would have went, just shut the fuck up.
Yeah. No.
They would have said that to her. She would have went, I'm third ranked in the 100 freestyle, and they would have went, shut the fuck up. You mean nothing. Because they don't. But now I think it's funny.
It is, but I mean, I'm probably saying something so stupid and like base, but like, shouldn't you cut your peener off if you want to be a lady?
Fully agree, and it's more aerodynamic to cut the That's, I don't believe, some of these.
Are you going for time or not?
Yeah. Some of
all that drag.
Yes.
Are we going for time?
I think some people are unsure if they're going to stay the other way.
Oh, that's interesting.
Gotta be a big one.
They're hedging their bets when they're like, I'm
bets.
detransitioning in case I want to change my mind later.
Yes.
Wait, did this person take hormones? Like, did this person?
I think maybe.
Take estrogen?
Probably.
Leah?
Yeah.
Like
she took estrogen.
Okay.
For sure.
But she's got the hog.
Does she have tits?
Yeah. She has tits.
Are they good?
Yeah. They're not great.
Are they smoking?
Fucking like traps. Like
most female swimmers have the big shoulders
and the lats.
Yes,
like
they
the
do.
crazy lats
Yeah.
from Butterfly.
Yeah.
Those lats are wild on swimmers.
But I love that we're debating this now as a country. Like, there's going to be a congressman that comes out soon and goes, "Hey, just cut off the hog if you want to be. If you want to be a female swimmer, you got to cut off your dick."
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I kind of feel like shouldn't there just be a baseline criterion for being on the women's team?
Yeah.
Like, okay, I understand you identify, but
What's Leah Thomas' height and weight? Can you do that?
She's not trying at all to look like a
no,
female.
like no trying.
She's done less work on it than anyone I've ever seen. She literally just showed up, put a bathing cap on.
Right. And a onesie.
Yeah.
And like, I'm a woman? That doesn't seem
6'1". Her
Oh
weight
my
is
God.
not 132.
No.
At least the Dylan Mulvaney one is
Yes.
trying to be a woman, although be it a psychotic one.
Yeah, a
Like
very
a crazy
annoying
person.
one.
What is the origin
So annoying.
of this of Dylan?
So Dylan was
fame?
an effeminate gay man who was, I believe, on Broadway or something.
A singer,
okay.
yeah,
A singer, an actor, or something
Right.
like that, and then decided to transition, and then did this blog or something where she was like, every day she's like, I've been a girl for 3
Yeah.
days.
So it started during COVID. and
But
she
you can
was
see
like-
what real effort looks like here.
Yes,
right?
she for
That's
sure
big
loves
effort.
it. She loves being
I mean,
a girl.
some of these guys.
She's trying.
She's
She's
trying.
really
Some
trying.
of these guys that transition, especially like in their 50s and 60s, you're like,
Yeah.
oof.
No, it's
You
tough.
got fucking.
It's
You got to
tough.
put it into another gear. Like this is not.
No, there's
enough.
something about sitting down with your kid and going, if you're going to transition, you got to try.
Yeah.
You got to try.
Yeah.
Like, this family will stand behind you, but you got to try.
Yeah.
You got to get a pussy. You got to get tits. You got to look good.
Nails
Yeah.
done,
You gotta-
makeup, hair.
Nail done.
And I would actually say some people when they're aging, you're like, hey, just age with,
Right.
with the face. But older dudes who are transitioning, I would say start with the facelift. Get your
Yes.
fucking. You have a big old basset hound face. You look like
Right.
a droopy dog.
That's
and now
true.
You're like, I'm a broad, and you're like,
Yeah.
you look like a fucking oil tanker worker.
It's,
And, like you gotta
You did-
pull this shit up, man.
Shave off a lot of your face.
Full
Like
beard.
Caitlyn Jenner did it. She did it late in life, but her work looks really
because
good.
she spent the
committed.
money to at least like go. I'm
Yeah.
trying to like.
Caitlyn had, I think, the right type of, this is the way to get people to get on the side of trans people. She transitioned and then immediately said, I'm against gay marriage and I'm voting for Donald Trump.
She did. That's
Immediately.
That
And
was
and by the way,
wild.
that's exactly it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why the trans community hasn't
funny.
tried that. Like, just try. Try to be a little more conservative. Like, why are there not trans people being like, hey, I like the cops?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why aren't trans people being like, actually, the cops serve a vital function in our society?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like the cops.
And
like, why aren't
abortion's
they?
bad,
You got to
yeah.
throw, to get full equality, you got to throw some of your own people
Yes.
under the bus.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially when they've already been long dead.
Yeah.
So for me, if I wanted to move in like a nice straight community like you people live in,
Sure.
I would say something like, I'm sure a few of those people at Stonewall were acting up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? A
Yeah.
few of them needed to be.
I get it. I get why
So
they
you
got.
have so the trans people have to, like, first of all, they merged with the fat people, which is bad.
Trans did.
Trans people came out and were like, they're like fat act, and a lot of them are fat.
Yeah.
They have to clean it up because if gay men first looked like me, they wouldn't have worked. Gay men came out looking athletic,
better than everyone.
sharp, and better. And then everyone eased into it, and then they accepted different types of gay men. But like this idea
So
that like
true.
people have to, it's like the Sam Smith thing. People are like, oh, people are so transphobic. I'm like, you can't be like, hey, I'm non-binary and I look like a plumber and I'm wearing a panties.
Yeah.
You have to be hot.
How much can Americans
Everyone-
accept?
Every trans person should be super hot to begin
Yeah.
with.
To
It's like-
begin with,
Yes.
let's
you're
roll
putting
out the
effort.
hot ones first.
Yes. You should. You know what? We should all be fooled. Like
Yes.
we should be like, "There's no fucking way." that
Right.
that's really?
Yeah.
Like, and then be like, "Oh wow, get us on board with that for a while."
Yeah.
And then introduce everything
Well,
else.
so like the swimsuit edition, there's a trans lady on that one.
Yeah.
And she kind of works out that blonde.
Super hot.
She's super hot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of very hot
Possible.
trans people, and we're losing that, which
yeah.
is sad.
And they shouldn't fuck with Bud Light. I think that was the big mistake with Dylan.
Yeah, it
That was a disaster.
Don't do that.
It was a disaster.
She's pretty blondly. She's got big tits. No, not this broad.
That's a trans. That is.
I don't know if it is, but the one that I know of, they recently put her on, is a blonde woman
Okay.
with big hands.
Well, this-
I
Big
think it's just that,
fakers.
like, my perspective is like, hey,
There
when
she
you're
is.
when you're like,
I mean, convincing, no?
that's Kim Petras. She did the song with Sam Smith.
Yeah, I mean, this is that's what I'm saying. I like to be to the point where I go like, oh, I'd fuck this chick, and then she pulls her dick out, and I go, I guess I still will. You know,
Yes.
like that.
That's
like that,
exactly
like,
right.
You know,
Yes.
that fooled. I want to be completely.
You want to be thrown.
Yeah.
You want to be thrown.
And I think that is the way to get, especially like if you're talking about part of the country being transphobic, you gotta fucking really fool them. You gotta
100%, because I think people are afraid of teachers turning their kids into 300-pound trans communists.
Yeah.
Maybe they're not worried about their kids being like hot trans people.
So true.
Like if literally you had a meeting and went, they're going trans, we can't stop it, but they're going to be hot.
I know.
They're going to be hot. At least some of the parents would be like, hey, I got a hot trans kid, as opposed to like some fat, disgusting trans communist.
Well, same with the non-binaries. If the non-binary community weren't always obese girls with purple hair and bad piercings, I might be more on board with them too.
Yes. Or if those obese girls with purple hair started coming out and going, we don't need welfare. Get a fucking job, you lazy piece of shit. Then Republicans would start going,
oh, this is great.
we disagree with that. They'd start using the pronouns. They'd be like, we disagree with them. They are making some interesting points, though. We do feel a social safety net can lull people into. I love Helix mattresses. They gave me some mattresses. I put them in my house. Everybody that visits loves them. I'm telling you right now, I was skeptical of the Helix mattress. I didn't believe in it. And then they sent me one, and I was sleeping on it, and I'm like, this is one of the most comfortable things I've ever been on, literally. And all of my friends that visit my home are all like, dude, what are those beds? And I'm like, they're Helix. And like, my friends are so happy, which is rare because they're usually miserable, bitter people that have a lot of problems and the resentments that have built up over years of kind of being ne'er-do-wells and, you know, failing and having near success. But so I have a lot of very vicious and angry human beings I'm near. But the sleep, they have so much sleep. And there's no better way to test out a new mattress than by sleeping on it in your own home. They offer a 100-night trial, 10 to 15-year warranty to try out your new Helix mattress. Everyone's unique. Everyone sleeps differently. That's why Helix has several mattress models to choose from, each designed for specific sleep positions and feel preferences. I'm telling you, I love Helix. It's like so amazing that I get to even offer you this deal. They're offering 20% off all mattresses and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/TimD. That's helixsleep.com/TimD. This is their best offer yet, and it won't last long. With Helix, better sleep starts now. I mean,
so true.
You guys have kids. You have to believe. You have to have some hope for the country, right? That's like something that you guys have to have with kids. Because
you have to have.
A lot of my friends go, Tim, your podcast is funny, but it's so dark sometimes that, like, you know, I have kids and I want to just think of good thoughts. And, you know.
You get lost in the hope because kids, that's all kids are.
They give you hope.
Kids are nothing but hope. Yeah. Because you just see them from being this helpless thing, a blob that can't do anything, and then this progress that happens, and you see them, their personality shape, and like they're your distraction actually from the hopeless world that you can. All of a sudden you go like, oh no, there's hope in this and them. But I mean,
I wonder if my parents ever saw me as hope. It's just such an interesting thing to think about. Like, if my parents were ever like, well, he's gay and he's on cocaine, he's stealing money, he's getting fatter, and he's enthusiastically supporting the Iraq War. But he's our beacon of hope. We love him. Yeah. He's hope.
You know what? I did have this thought yesterday when I was microdosing on mushrooms, is that our generation, the Gen X, we're so proud of how hard we are and how we were bullied and fuck you and, pussy this and that. And then these kids are all about acceptance and love. Yeah. And you're just like, well, that is a change for the better.
It is a change.
Who knows how that's going to end up in the real world, how these kids are going to fare creating society and doing things. But I don't know. It does feel kind of hopeful, doesn't it?
It does. I think a lot of the changes that are happening are positive. And, people obviously being more kind and considerate of each other
we weren't like
is great,
It's not as fun.
Well, the worry is, the concern is on how does that work? See, a lot of that seems to be getting what you want. A lot of this culture is about getting what you want. This person called me the thing I wanted to be called, and I feel this way because this person is validating me. instead of this idea of like that person should not affect you.
100%.
So I understand that we're trying to create a gentler world, which is good, but I think part of what we're doing is we're giving people the idea that like their self-concept is reliant on other people.
And isn't that just an illusion ultimately? Like,
yes.
Even if you're like, oh, everyone finally called me what I wanted, and you're like, well, you're never like everyone's never going. So you got the people that you interact with to do it. So I guess you just kind of formed your own reality here.
Yeah.
But isn't it kind of an illusion that you're gonna have everyone in because that's not how the world works. Like,
no.
People are gonna say what they want to say. They're gonna use terms they want to use. And look, people are gonna accept you or not accept you, and not accepting you is actually kind of reality, right?
It's like reality.
It's like saying like, I want to get to the point where everybody likes my stand-up or my podcast. It's not gonna happen.
It'll never happen.
Yeah. So like, you're just. It feels like a wasted effort in a lot of ways when you see somebody putting so much energy into. Use the right term for me.
Oh,
like,
it's exhausting.
It's an exhausting existence that you have.
And it's annoying. It's just annoying. Like if you put it in your fucking email, you know what I mean? Like as your signature, you're like, and by the way, my pronouns are. It's like, motherfucker, I don't even know you, and you're gonna start with that shit. Like,
I don't care, and I wasn't questioning it.
We don't care.
I wasn't reading your email. Like, God, I wonder what fucking pronouns this person uses.
It's part of like, I think everybody is very, very concerned with how they appear.
Yeah.
And I grew up with a lot of people who didn't care, and there was a virtue in not caring.
Yes.
They didn't care. And I think that's completely gone.
100%.
So because the millennials came in and they were like, we're strivers, we're achievers, we like ribbons and bows, and we like to be told we're good, and here's my college essay, and these are my LSAT scores, my SATs, and I'm at the right school with the right people, I have the right internship. It was very checklist type of, these striving, kind of insufferable, exhausting, careerist, driven kind of empty vessels that needed to be filled up with approval all the time.
All the time.
And I felt like that was very exhausting. And like that to me those are the people right now who are kind of manufacturing culture. Mm-hmm. That's why like everything's a BuzzFeed quiz or a how fat phobic are you, or were you racist to the man on the train, or whatever it is. It's like, because people constantly want to grade themselves and tell everybody how good they're doing.
Yeah.
Right.
And it came from that culture of like wanting to be.
It's so funny.
And it's also in. Put it like, okay, if you go to a bookstore here in Austin, it'll be like, be inclusive. Or in San Francisco, you'll see signs that are like, end racism. You're like, dude, this sign doesn't need to be in this city.
Right.
Put that sign in fucking Mobile, Alabama. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's all an echo chamber of like high-fiving each other.
Yeah, if you put that sign in Mobile, Alabama, the guns come out.
Right.
Yeah.
But that'll be, but at least it'll be changing.
It's also, think about those two words. Could anything mean less than end racism? Could anything have less of an action plan than the words end rate? Like, it's so completely divorced. It's designed for you to go right on and then move on. There's nothing specific.
There's no plan.
It's like when Gary Vaynerchuk goes hustle, and you're like, thanks. There's nothing about it that has any real world implication. End racism means nothing.
I know.
It means nothing.
Stop hate.
You stop hate.
And also, you're anyone who's nodding at that, like they're not racist to begin with,
right?
And somebody who is racist just reads that and goes, "Oh, fuck you! I hate."
Right.
Like
these
it
Muslims.
Well,
it's not even. They don't even internalize that they're racist. They're like, well, I'm not racist, but I'm like, the Koreans are a problem. Like, it's never like, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
So much garlic
But
in
I
your
don't.
food.
I take. Like with our kids, and I know Tom is always like, that's an incorrect thought, Christina. That's so fucking bizarre. But I want to raise them more Gen X than anything. Like, just go out there and be a tiger, dude. And my kids are going to eat your fucking pussy kids alive.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say my kids are going to eat your pussy.
Well, they are. I'm raising them to do that.
Yeah.
These boys, I'm showing them to where the clit.
That was wild. She's like, I'm raising them tigers, and my kids are going to eat your pussy. I'm like, this is very interesting. Fuck yeah.
They're heterosexual. We know this. But yeah, like
Those kids are gonna know how to munch boxes.
For sure. But I don't know. I don't buy into all this cultural stuff too. I don't know that it's real, like you said.
Oh, it feels very performative though, doesn't it?
Like
a lot of things today.
It's all performative, and everyone's gonna kill each other. But let me segue, because I did write a book, and I want to talk about this on this episode because I like both of you, and it's gonna get better views than the other ones. That's why I'm bringing it up now. I wrote a book, and Travis will edit the whatever graphic into the thing, and you have a book, which is fucking awesome.
I do.
And
it just actually came out in.
Don't show his book. No,
don't
kidding.
show mine.
Show his book.
No, but
there it is.
There's Tim's. Mine just got reprinted. It just got the paperback release just came out. Nice. But this looks awesome. You're titled "Death by Boomers: How the Worst Generation Destroyed the Planet, but First a Child." It's an amazing title.
No, it's great. And what it is my father is 70 and my mother is, God only knows where she is. She may not be with us anymore. But what I wanted to do before they died was just one more disgraceful moment. Yeah. Like a head hung low moment where I could share all these like horrific stories from growing up with boomers. I love boomers. Boomers are funny. It's not a woe is me book.
Yeah.
Boomers are deeply selfish, narcissistic monsters sent to destroy the earth. They've destroyed society. They viewed their children as an obstacle and an impediment to their own success.
For sure.
They were jealous of their children. They liked when their children failed. They set their children up in many cases to fail. They were hateful, horrible people. They were completely divorced from reality. They have tangled themselves up in conspiracy theories. You can find them on Facebook right now.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's like as soon as they got technology, they used it to spread hate and division and fear. All they believe in is fear mongering and dividing people. Because they believe that's how they benefit. They were the luckiest generation, other than the few of them who died in Vietnam. Enough. We've heard about that. The rest of them had charmed lives with great peacetime, and they were given and inherited this whole country and destroyed it. And my father, you know, when I told him I was like an alcoholic, I was a drunk. And I didn't say I'm an alcoholic, but I said to him, like, I'm hanging out at a bar every night, I'm drinking every night. And instead of saying, like, you should get help, my father goes, son, like an old man bar has played a role in every Dillon's life.
Wow.
He goes, your Uncle Tommy went to Buckley's. I used to go to a place called the Bitter Ant. Like,
cool.
They're so, like, my father, I was smoking cigarettes, 13 years old, smoking cigarettes in the front seat of his car. He let me smoke cigarettes. And he goes, you know what's good about you? You never smoke them down to the filter. He goes, you never smoke him down to the end. He goes, that's what's good about you.
That's an amazing compliment from a dad.
Yeah. So these were the type of people they were.
You got to internalize, like, that is what's good about me.
He's like, you never smoke him down to the end. He goes, that's what's good about you. And I threw him out the window, and he goes, you know, and that's like,
I picture like other kids talking about what their fucking self-esteem comes from, and then they get to you.
Because I do
that's really good.
Yeah,
I never smoke them down to the filter. What?
Well, I did what the trans kids do now. I go, if you don't let me smoke, I'm gonna kill myself. That's what the trans kids do. They go, you give me tits or I'm out of here. No, I would go, you have to let me smoke. So they were getting divorced, and my father's like, well, he's just smoking a pack a day. It's not a big deal. And I smoked for years, and I would just smoke. My grandmother let me smoke at her house, and my friend's parents, my friend Ryan was dating a stripper. My friend is in jail now. He was dating a stripper, and like Indiana's Most Wanted. She was on Indiana's Most Wanted. So like state troopers came to the house once. My friend Ryan answered the door. And like they were like doing identity theft, they're doing bad stuff, and the troopers were like, "Where is she?" And he goes, "I don't know what you're talking about." And they go, "Listen, if you don't tell us where she is, you're an accomplice." So like again, where is she? And my friend just was there like 2 seconds, and then just looked at the cops and went, "She's in the kitchen." And they come and they take this woman out in cuffs, and the boomer parents are kind of unfazed.
Yeah.
And literally that night for dinner, we're all sitting there, and his mother's like, "You know what I want to do? What about a condo in Naples? How about Naples, Florida? I mean, it's gorgeous. The restaurants are great." This is after a woman had been taken out of the house in handcuffs. They were so crazy. So the book is just a collection of like these stories of these crazy people.
That boomer generation is about
They're the worst.
like looking at a problem and be like, can we get out of this right now? And then just change topic.
Yeah.
It was never about like, I feel like that's because they were raised by real fucking Neanderthals, at least emotionally.
Yeah.
When you think about it, like a boomer is raised by someone born in like 1910 or 15.
Right.
Like they had no skill set.
Yeah.
Nothing given to them. So then they just
no emotional life.
No emotional
They're like
life.
dogs.
Well, boomers also have this very interesting victimhood complex. Like they're always aggrieved. They're aggrieved. Like every time you're on the phone with one of them, like, you know, like my aunt, for example, during COVID, she goes, "I hope everyone gets this vaccine because I'd like to do some traveling and I've worked my whole life." I'm like, everyone's worked their whole life.
Yeah.
Everyone's worked their whole Who hasn't worked their whole life? Like she goes, "I've worked my whole life." Like, I'm like, everyone's worked their whole life, you crazy bitch. Like, of course they're fucking, but it was all about her. She's like, "I'd like to travel."
What about me?
What about me?
Oh my God, I just remember what my dad liked about me.
Yeah.
He goes, "You know what's good about you?
Yeah.
Is that you're a girl, but you don't talk too much. Sometimes women talk
That's
too
nice.
much." That is a nice compliment.
But see, that's nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
I don't
You don't
talk
smoke
too
them down
much.
the filters. You're not a chatty broad.
Yeah. My father would say things to me, he'd give me this advice, like we'd be in a car, he'd be like, "Son, never overestimate your value." And then he goes, "What you do, someone else will do too."
Cool.
He would say things like that. You know, like he would just have these like very like, you know.
The thing is about these comments too, is if you were to ask your dad or your dad about saying that, they'd be like,
Yeah.
"What's wrong with that?"
I just tell you my feelings.
They're oblivious to the fact what that means. For me, my parents used to introduce the three of us to people.
Yeah.
And like I have an older sister and a younger sister, and they would go, my older sister's Maria, they'd be like, "This is Maria. She's an A student. She's a great athlete. She's creative. She dances. She's just full of life. She's this amazing kid. And this is Jane. She's our baby. She's adorable. She's sweet. She's just the cutest little, sweetest girl." And then they would be like, "This is Tommy. He's nice." I go, "Is that it? Like that's the end of the thing?"
You were a man. You had to stand on your own.
Yeah, exactly. They were just like, "Well, we take care of the girls."
Yeah.
Like you got to like you're.
I was an only child, and my mother used to like call me in and go. She would call me in and she'd say quietly, she goes, "I always wanted another child. And your father didn't give me another child. And I don't know if this marriage is going to work out because I always wanted another child. I've just always wanted more children.
Yeah.
And he's denied me that, and I want another child." And I would just sit there and go, "Okay."
Thank you. Thanks for that.
I'd go, "All right." So I love my mother, and I do love my mother, but she was a horrible person, but also a lovely person.
Yeah.
She was a great person,
That's the
too.
thing is that when we talk about our parents and we criticize them, we criticize them from a valid place.
Yes.
But people are not one-dimensional.
No.
So you can be like, "Look, my mom's crazy or horrible," all these things, but that doesn't fully define her. You still have the stuff that you...
We used to swim. She taught me how to swim. She was a swim coach. And I swam a mile in the bay when I was 6. And she used to,
Christ.
Yeah, she used to get all the neighborhood kids, and we'd all like swim at like 5 a.m. And she would like train them how to be like good swimmers. And she was really good. She was really good with that. She was really good, like an aquatic person.
Yeah.
And she was like very much committed to that. And then I was an actor, and she was committed to that from when I was like probably 7. I started acting, and I acted till I was about 12. And she really tried. And we went, and
Did you like it?
I did. I just never had that big break where it was like, this changes your life.
Yeah.
And me and her went on a tour for like 4 months with this touring musical, Annie Get Your Gun. And we would be on the tour bus every night, and then we toured with the whole production. And then, they put me in an Amstel Light shirt. What's better than that? Take a look at me and my dad right there. Look at his face. I was singing a song about sucking cock right there. I was singing a song about sucking dick. And the cum comes out of the dick. He was like, you said this was an Irish folk song. The priest has a big cock. So, but like, she was with me for that.
Yeah.
And then I started doing drugs, and she went insane. So we went our separate ways, but I still love her. She went a little nutty. And I just, at 12 years old, 13 years old, I started using cocaine and smoking weed. Obviously weed first. I'm not nuts.
Yeah.
But weed and blow and some Vicodin. And my friend's mother was a hooker and sold us drugs, and we loved her.
Whoa.
She's in the book. We loved them all.
Did your mom do drugs too?
Never. She did over-the-counter drugs. She would take Sudafed, and she would drink like Preventil cough syrup and Tab. She loved Tab soda and Preventil cough syrup and like Sudafed, and like she loved an over-the-counter cocktail to just keep her going.
Yeah.
She loved an over-the-counter cocktail.
Do you miss the acting, by the way?
One of my favorite things about getting a box of Awesome from Bespoke Post every month is how it sneaks up on you. You forget that it's coming, and one day, boom, on your front door. The best box you'll open all month, filled with carefully chosen gear from the best small brands around the world. Let's see what I got this month. I got some cool stuff in the box for the outdoors, gardening, like a little shovel and a hoe. And I like that because I like to get in with the flowers and the plants. No matter what you have going on this spring, Box of Awesome has you covered. From camping gear essentials, cookout must-haves, and drink game upgrades, Box of Awesome has collections for every part of your life. You want to get this, give it to somebody who's moving to a new city, going away to college or whatever. It's the gift that literally keeps on giving because they get it every month. To get started, take the quiz at boxofawesome.com. Your answers will help them pick the right Box of Awesome for you. They release new boxes every month across a ton of different categories. Each box is valued at $70. With each Box of Awesome, you're supporting small businesses. 90% of everything that comes up in your Box of Awesome is from a small up-and-coming brand. It's free to sign up. You can skip a month or cancel anytime. Get 20% off your first monthly box when you sign up at boxofawesome.com. Enter the code Tim Dillon at checkout. That's boxofawesome.com. Code Tim Dillon for 20% off your first box. Boxofawesome.com. Code Tim Dillon at checkout. I love lawyers. Submitting an injury claim with Morgan & Morgan is so easy. It's more like using an app than hiring a lawyer. I'm telling you, submitting a claim to Morgan & Morgan is as easy as pretending you didn't see that 5 p.m. email from your boss. They're America's largest injury law firm. They have 100 offices nationwide and more than 800 lawyers. With over $15 billion recovered from clients, Morgan & Morgan has a proven track record of fighting to get you fair and full compensation. I mean, I was in this car accident and I just said, forget it, whatever, I'll just deal with it. Instead of going to Morgan & Morgan. If I had gone to Morgan & Morgan, I would have gotten my money because that's the right thing to do. That's the reality. Because I was in an accident and it was very hard, but it was someone else's fault, I think. I made a left from the right lane and almost killed a second. We were buying Vicodin in a parking lot in Freeport, New York. Doesn't matter, bygones, but I still could have called Morgan & Morgan because even though she was injured, she didn't help the situation either. She said, make the left. That's kind of actionable. Go, make the left. Go to Morgan & Morgan. 35% of all fatal accidents occur between 6 p.m. and midnight. See what I mean? People aged 25 to 34 have the highest amount of drivers involved in car crashes. People aged 15 to 24 had the highest emergency room visit due to car accidents. It's so easy to get in an accident. I've been in 5 accidents. I've totaled 5 cars, and I've left the scene of 3 of them. But one of them, I was drunk and I claimed to not be. The other one, it wasn't total. I was able to drive away. This woman started screaming at me and I drove my car away from her. I rear-ended her and she got out and she started screaming and I just drove around her and I drove really fast. If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. Hello? For more information, go to forthepeople.com/Tim or dial pound law, pound 529. forthepeople.com/Tim or dial pound law, pound 529 from your cell phone. That's forthepeople.com/Tim from your cell. This is a paid advertisement. I'm being paid for this. Yeah, I did more. I did 2 movies that bit parts in 2 films that are coming out, which is awesome.
That's great.
One it was Eli Roth movie called Thanksgiving, which is really cool. That's coming out, and then there's another movie that I'm hoping my scene's in. I imagine it will be. I can't say what it is. It's kind of a big deal movie, and the director yelled at me and said, "What are you doing?" several times.
Really?
But then we eventually got to it. But that's the process. Like, you're making a face.
Really say?
No, he's like, I don't understand what you're doing. He's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh shit.
He's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And literally next to me was one of the biggest stars of our era.
So wait,
whatever.
Without, I mean,
podcast, tough guy.
Showbiz.
So how did you handle that? Because these are
It's so stressful.
It's so horrible.
So I mean, I don't even know if I can talk about it. Let me talk about it a little.
Let's talk about it, and then you guys can edit it out if you.
No, we're gonna talk about it.
Okay.
Because it's not a big deal.
Okay.
Okay. I'm in the film, and it's me and this very big director and this very big star.
Before we get to this, were you just offered the part? Did you audition?
I
for
auditioned.
It? Okay, so you auditioned and you got the part from that.
I get the part.
Okay.
They said it's gonna be like a funny part.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe I have one joke, but it's not. I get to set. You don't get a script every day because it's like super hush hush. So then they come in, they give me my lines, and they're like, okay, and you move the book, you slide the book across the table, but not too far, extend it out of the shot. Put your hand on the book, but don't cover the title. You deliver your first line. He's going to open the door, then he's going to hang up the phone. You look at him, you deliver your second line, he interrupts you. Then you wait, not too soon, not too fast. You deliver your third line.
That's so high stress.
It's so high stress. I'm sitting there, there's 80 people. It's one of the biggest movies. And I'm sitting there, and a very, very big star who's like, brilliant is in this little room with me, and then another brilliant star is there. This is the first scene I've done in any film. Okay, number 1. So I'm like, okay, and I'm trying to remember like the first thing. I'm like,
all the
what?
things.
I'm like, the book, the fucking slide the book, and fuck the book, and I'm like, I slide the book, and like, so I kept getting the line wrong, and the director's like kept telling me the line. He's like, this is the line. And then I'm like, okay. And then he goes, I'm like, all right. I was like, I think I said that last time. He's like, you've never said it, but maybe next time you'll say it. I'm like, but then he was also being rough with a lot of the other people who are much better.
Okay. So
he's being rough with a lot of people because that's his style, and I respect that.
So
I'm no millennial. I'm like, kick me in the face. Just put my scene in the film because it did end up good at the end.
So.
And I'm the draw in this film.
What?
I'm the draw. A lot of people are going to argue that it's the other 2. I'm not saying who they are, but I'm the draw.
So wait, at what point does he go, what the fuck are you doing?
He came up to me and he goes, hey, what the fuck are you doing? He goes, I don't really understand what's happening right now. He's like, you realize you have to do this the same time every way, right? The same time every time. This is like a fucking movie. He's like, I don't get it. He's like, what is happening right now? And I'm like, I'm really apologizing. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do all the things and whatever. And so it was it was stressful, but I liked the pressure.
Yeah.
It was really good. And he's a great director. He's made some of the greatest films ever. I don't mind being shamed in front of.
I'm dying to know who this is.
I know, you have to tell us off, Mike. Yeah.
I'll tell you off.
Just tell us now. This is
edit
a
it out.
live
Tell
what
us
if they
now,
cut? Yeah. Well, no. I don't think they'll do anything to me. I'll tell you. Okay.
Okay.
The movie is the Oprah Winfrey story.
Oh my God, I believed you. I was like, nah, dude.
I was like,
I play Stedman. No.
The Oprah?
It's a very famous group of people.
come on,
Yeah,
just tell us.
just
Just
tell
cut
us.
it out.
But
Just gonna
I
edit it
signed
out.
an NDA.
That's what I'm saying. Cut it.
Yeah, but I don't want to cut. If I say it, I don't want to cut it.
All right.
I'm going to say it and then probably not cut it.
Okay.
Oh my.
big.
That's big.
It's big.
And
so
we're going to cut it. We'll cut it out.
And he was rough with other people.
He was rough with everybody that deserved it. I deserve it, and I will take it again. You can hit me. But it was very stressful.
It's so stressful.
And rough with the big talent too?
Oh yeah.
Really?
But because it is what it is. I mean, I don't mean rough. I don't want to say rough, like passionate. Everybody's passionate. No one's saying anything wrong here. Everyone's passionate. It's a beautiful process.
Well, that's true because there are people that are
process
tough
is beautiful
in comedy that will say crazy shit to you, but you know them so well that you're like, oh, that doesn't even faze.
It was wild because you know what? I got it by the end to a good place, and that's what a good director should do is to like make you better.
Yeah,
and that's and I miss the acting, and I'm going to do more acting, and I liked it, and I'm really excited about it.
Good.
And I think I did a great job. Good. And I think at the end, in the beginning, it was hard.
Yeah.
But at the end, I think it all came together. And that's what counts.
That's what counts. Have you been fired in show business?
I've never been fired, per se, from a gig. I don't think.
Like stand-up?
Yeah, I don't think I've been fired.
I mean, I was fired as a writer from Chelsea lately. That was pretty horrible.
Yeah, I mean, that must be.
Yeah, but that was it. And especially because I didn't see it coming. Like,
yeah.
It was one of those where
I never had a job, that's why.
Oh, really?
I never had a gig in comedy. Like, I never had a job. Like, I had stand-up. I had the podcast. I never had a writing job. I never had any of that.
Well, you're the younger gen.
Yeah.
That stuff was kind of out of style, no? Like by the time you were...
People were doing it. I didn't want to do it.
I never wanted to be really.
I never wanted to do it.
I did a few pilots. I wrote on a couple pilots for Comedy Central, but I never. Once I got a taste of it, I was like, I don't. And the thing is, the other writers, they try to sell you on it. So they're like, you should try to do this, and I was like.
Because you know what? There's some semblance of security.
No, there is.
It's like, I can be a comic and be safe. So they're like indoor cats, right? Like that's why they're not truly funny, because they're not stand-ups.
Well, some of them are really funny.
Some of them.
But they're not.
Not a lot.
They're not. You're talking about on stage, though.
Yeah.
But they're truly funny on paper. Like
no, I disagree. I mean, yes, there are people that are funny writers, joke writers, obviously. But like, I don't know. I don't LOL a lot at like late night.
Well, yeah, but that's that gig. I'm saying there's hilarious comedy writers that do,
of course,
that write amazing comedy. But you're talking about for the specific show.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that like some of those writers, they would also, some of them always had like a little bit stand up in there, and they're like, "What do you do?" And you go, "I do stand up," and they're like, "You really think you're gonna make it as a stand up?"
Right.
So you should try to.
Well, it's so rare, I think. When you see all the people that are in the business, a lot of them become writers.
Yeah.
I just found it kind of boring, and I thought stand-up was more exciting, and the road was more exciting. Yeah.
So much better.
Freedom. Yeah, freedom.
Even when you're not moving a single ticket, it's like there's something about the live performance that is like, it's so much.
It was just more fun and thrilling, and like it kept you going. Whereas like writers, have these amazing lives, but I think they're more, some of them are, it's I guess more exciting than I think, or more exhilarating. I just felt like for me, I like being out there and doing my own thing.
Yeah, and I have to admit, my ego hated it when the joke I wrote would be said by somebody else on camera.
Right.
Like, oh, that was mine.
Right.
Like, I want that joke. I want to.
Well, they're striking now, and we're going to see what's happening.
I think it's going to last a minute.
It's going to last a long time. I am behind the scenes putting it all, trying to help. Because I'm very good friends with David Zaslav, Ted Sarandos. All of the streamers are like my best friend. Like the CEO, but I support the writers. But my best friends are the billionaire streamers, so it's like weird because they're my best friends. But I see the writer's point, but like I'm very close with like these people that I love. Like I love these billionaires. Like I literally love David Zaslav. He's like my best friend, and like so like sometimes it's so weird because he's like, "Why are you supporting them?" And I'm like, David, like, I don't know, like they're hungry, and he's like, "Are they?" And I'm like, I don't know. I'm in such a hard spot. You know what I mean?
Are they?
I'm in a hard spot because like I see them picketing.
Yeah.
And I want it. I'm not in the WGA.
Right.
And I want to get out. And I want to,
march with them.
I want to march with them.
Yeah.
But I'm in the car often with a CEO of a streaming company going to lunch and we talk about how to kill those people.
Yeah.
We do that. Most of our lunches, we talk about how to get rid of them.
Sure.
And here's the thing with AI, it's like, I think AI is scary, but I also think it's exciting to have a robot do all of that work. And have all these people that are doing it now maybe die.
Right.
That to me is like a new thing.
It would be so amazing if one of these CEOs with the car went into one of the picket lines.
By accident?
By accident. I'm saying if it was a total accident.
Well, I think what's going to have to happen is we're going to have to have a meeting of the minds where everybody sits down and basically irons out something that everyone can live with, because we can't keep going on like this. No one in America cares about this at all.
Nobody.
Not one human being cares about this at all.
I barely care.
The news barely registers.
Yeah.
LA doesn't need to take any more hits. It's taking a hit. The weather this winter was not good.
No.
The rain.
Rain, hail, sleet, bad. Snow, very bad. All of the good comics have left Los Angeles. Yeah. Most of, not all of, a lot of.
Yeah.
Okay? And really, the two comics left in LA, it's like the same guy. And the two people that are fighting for dominance of the LA comedy scene right now are literally indistinguishable from each other, which is weird. And it's me and Matt Rife. It's the same guy. And we're talking about the same things. And so what it really is this fight between these two brothers who are the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
To try to reach these people.
Jesus Christ, is this what Matt looks like with his shirt on?
That's what I look like
amazing.
too. It's these cameras. You don't have nice cameras. That's the problem, is these fucking cameras. I tell Rogan too.
These are old cameras.
Rogan invested all the money in deer antlers and not the cameras, because without the camera, no, but we're very similar. We look alike. We're the same type of guy, and it's weird. It's weird, and it's just both of us in LA fighting for who's gonna do it. That's the photo. Is that a lion? That's the photo where it's so it's hard. So that's what LA is right now.
Yeah.
It's just me and this guy fighting for supremacy.
Yeah.
Being the same, you know what I mean?
Sure.
My crowd is all women because they're brilliant.
Yeah.
Because they're very smart.
They're into comedy.
And they
women love stand-up.
women
Women
like
love it.
the takes. And I did a show with me, Shane Mullen, and Big J. It was an arena. All women.
Oh, women, yeah.
All women came out in Hershey, Pennsylvania. All women who voted for Joseph Biden. That's my audience. Women who voted for Joseph Biden. And I'm proud of that.
Do you and Matt get along, or is it pretty contentious?
No, we get along because it's it's contentious because it's always tough to see your doppelganger all the time. And it's like, no, Matt's actually an awesome dude. He's a really sweet guy, and he's funny and awesome, but, and we do look different.
You do?
And so that's good. I think that's good.
He's so cute.
He's very attractive.
Is a kiss from a movie, or is that like a
Kate Beckinsale.
But I dated her, and let me tell you something about Kate Beckinsale. You go to dinner with her, I mean, you got to fill the conversation. You try to talk to her about the Ukraine, you got another thing coming. She's got nothing. It's a joke. We're all kidding.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. Is this real? This is...
What? I don't know.
Matt to
Yeah.
run? This is this comedy people are now... This is truly fucking reality TV shit.
Yeah.
Well, it is... Listen, for once, the comics are getting laid. I think that's cool.
It's cool. It's cool to be cool. It's cool to be cool. comedy shouldn't get too cool.
Not too cool.
Not too cool.
That's not good.
No.
It loses. Colin Quinn said, when comedy gets too cool, it always loses, which I think makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, for sure. That's why you gotta kind of lean, we all want to be seen a certain way, look good and all this stuff, but you gotta kind of lean into your flaws a little bit if you're a comic.
Well, lean into humanity.
Yeah.
I think humanity is important. I think technology is obviously very important, but I also think that the job of a comic is to kind of remember that human beings exist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Isn't that profound?
That was really
profound.
good.
Isn't that profound? That's the type of shit
good.
I say that's the dumbest shit, but it sounds good. I'll be like, the job of a comedian is to remember that human beings exist,
No, but you're right, because it's those little things, right? Like taking a shit,
But we don't get to be
hating yourself.
We don't get to be the coolest. That's the thing.
No.
You can be kind of cool. There is kind of cool enough. I want to hang out with that guy. He's cool. But you're not fucking.
Rogan is very cool.
He's cool.
He's cool.
But what I'm saying is that Keanu Reeves in John Wick, that's not a comedian.
No, that's not cool.
That's another
Who's
thing.
the coolest? Anthony Bourdain was pretty cool. I thought.
Yeah, but he wasn't a comic, right?
No. I mean, just cool in general. Who's the coolest?
I gotta be honest with you, and you're probably gonna disagree with this as a mother. I like Casey Anthony. I like her free spirit.
She's cool.
I like that she has a free spirit. I like get her out now. Let's see what she looks like. I like her.
That smile right there in the second.
Yeah.
That's a fun smile.
Yeah.
And that's in court.
Yeah. I like her. I like strength.
Sure.
I like female strength.
Do you have
my
a
favorite
2023 photo of her? Do we see? I wonder what she looks like.
What is that expression? I mean,
That's oopsie.
she's playing coy.
Oh, see,
really weird.
there's less of a smile now.
Yeah.
Well, because she's right now. In that photo, right there, she just remembered she killed her daughter.
That's always a rough moment.
That right there, where is Casey Anthony now? That photo, she goes, oh shit,
when you're a kid and they take photos in school and they're and then right now they're like, hey, you killed your daughter, and then snap.
Look at that Disney photo from TMZ. Look at her. She's at Disney World. This is what I think is so cool about her. Go up. It's the middle one on top. So somebody go at her at Disney World. She's put on a few pounds. She's looking at kids' toys in Disney World. This is what I like about her. She's not letting you shame her because she's out there going, I'm living my best life.
Yep.
She's still a mother.
Going back to, she's still a mother?
She's still a mother.
Yep.
Does she have kids again? No.
No, but
she
I
Disney.
consider her a mother.
At heart, yeah.
She's a famous mother.
Can you imagine going to Disney without the kids? Jesus Christ.
She's doing it.
Disney World, I think, in Casey Anthony's defense, is really fun for people of all ages. And I think that's what, now I'm against that. I've made fun of it. But I think she's really getting the most out of it.
Well, people like
Totally
to
is.
get loaded at Disney World,
Yes.
is what I hear. There's 5 bars there or something.
What is
Wow,
she
she's
doing?
really cool. Who's that guy?
I think that's her father.
Really?
Or maybe not.
Dog's cute.
I bet she's fun to date, though.
Here's the thing with her. She's just fun.
Yeah, she's a good time. Anyone who do something like that is also game for other shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude. I mean, she'll dine and dash.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you imagine? Be like,
Exactly.
hey, the waitress hasn't gotten our check. Why don't we get out of here? She's like, that seems inconsiderate. You're like, Casey? She's like, all right, I get it.
Exactly. And there's no sexual favor you can ask that she's going to be like, I'm not that kind of girl. You're like,
She's not saying no to anal if she put her daughter in a bag.
yeah, exactly.
There's absolutely no way that's happening.
Exactly.
And I do appreciate her. I mean, there's something about her, and I hope she becomes an actress or something, because I think she's got a lot to give. I want to thank both of you because, you're so funny. What you've done here is so crazy impressive with all of the different podcasts you guys have.
Thank you.
It's insanely amazing to watch. It's like, it's amazing. And it's just amazing. And I'm down here doing mother shit, which I gave Joe Rogan the money to open. We don't have to talk about it. He didn't have any money. And he called me and he said, do you have money? And I said, I have a little bit. And I wrote him a check to open that club.
That was super nice of you.
Yeah.
It's really nice of me, and I don't bring it up a lot.
Yeah.
But I bring it up to humanize him because
Sure.
he did not have any money. He doesn't have any money. It's all fake.
It's fake money.
So, but no, it's amazing, like what you guys have done.
Thank you. Thanks. It's
Truly.
It's been fun to watch you. You know, you were one of the people who I was like, oh man, just stay on the path. You know, like
Thank
just
you.
keep doing what you're doing. There's not like you already made it, so you just have to like. Only way you can fuck it up is by like stop doing what you're doing. You know.
No, we're gonna keep doing stuff. We're gonna keep trying to be funny. You know, we're gonna keep doing all the things that I guess, you know, people do until there's a new thing.
Yeah, then we'll all try that.
And we'll all try that.
The new thing.
But
yeah.
you were supposed to be at the CPAP machine, the new movie with Bert Kreischer. That
Yes. The fat machine.
And I wasn't at it.
You weren't at it.
And because I'm doing a lot of work right now with orphans in the Ukraine.
Oh, I didn't know that.
A lot of orphans in the Ukraine are being shipped to Austin, Texas. And I'm making sure that had to get raised in good Christian families.
Yeah.
And I've been working with a lot of the orphaned Ukrainian orphans. But I love Bert. I hope the movie does well. I hope all the movies do well, all the comedy movies.
Me too.
Sebastian's movie. Everybody that's putting movies out, it helps all of us.
It really does.
To have people go out there and see comedy movies.
And I also hope that you spend more time in Austin than LA. LA, come on, man.
Well,
LA
I
is
spend
dumb.
a lot. I mean, everything's a dump except Palm Beach and the Hamptons. Yeah. That's the reality. That's just the reality.
You go to Palm Beach?
The reality is real money every now and then. Yeah. Real money is East Coast. It's Greenwich, Connecticut, Manhattan, Palm Beach. Why do you think Epstein didn't live in L.A.? They never went to L.A. Ghislaine Maxwell was never in L.A.
Yeah.
The top human traffickers consistently choose the East Coast. The top. And that's the reality. But I spend a lot of time here. This is my residence, and I'm here, and I love it.
Okay,
I am here.
Yeah, you are.
You know, I pop in and pop out, and it is something that I was born here, and I was raised here.
Wow.
Okay? So it's a different experience.
It's in your blood, and you love it.
I'm a ranch hand, and I believe in the, you know, whatever the hell's going on. But I like it. It's a beautiful place. Tom Segura, Christina Pazitsky, the Your Mom's House podcast, the Two Bears podcast with Tom.
And I'll also say, can I say this?
Yeah, of course.
My new special, Sledgehammer, comes out 4th of July on Netflix.
Sledgehammer, 4th of July on Netflix.
Yep.
Oh, I'm in Toronto and Winnipeg finally, September 6th and 7th. Come see me there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm stoked. And where my mom's at, which, have you done that one? You've done that one.
I should do it.
Yeah,
I haven't
would love
done
to
it.
have you and we could talk schizo moms.
I'm a mother.
Yeah.
The pre-order the book, the code is going to be in the YouTube description and a bunch of other places on my social media, probably my Instagram bio. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm excited for the book.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. I really
So
appreciate
funny,
it.
dude.
Thank you so much.
So guys, today we received our watch. This is so much pretty and it will cost to me about $10, and it is much pretty than an average smartwatch, and it's too much better than other. So it's time to unbox it. Let's try. Let's start its unboxing. This box is too much pretty heavy, and the instructions and such manuals guides are written below. I really satisfied due to this packaging, such kind of packaging. It's really a simple, ordinary and very beautiful packaging, and this is the brand name ZTFit Ultra Watch 2 Big with 2.2 infinite display with wireless charger, and the model name is T10 Ultra 2. This is also made by China. This is so embarrassing to me. Let's start the unboxing. Sorry for saying it's too time, and again sorry for the lighting condition because there is no electricity there. Let's start unboxing. It's too tight. well. The packaging and the box was so good. I really impressed from that. So this is our bands, and it is really a much better band, and it is also flexible, a good quality material from ZPE Blade company, and the metal used in it also a very glamorous and beautiful. So this is the wireless charger. The wire length is too short. It's nearly about half meter or 1 meter. Now open the main thing. What a shine. It's look too pretty too much, and for such price it is a good deal. Let's Oh, what's the hidden thing inside it? That's the box and packagings. Now side all things and just keep it to show the get and perfect view. Okay. Now open the watch. Time to power on. Oh, nice. It's showing hello. Oh, what a beautiful wallpaper from starting out. I think there are two. Yeah, there are only 3 face watches.